what do we have here? We have one little stretch bracelet. Yep, just one. And in this video, we're going to take it apart, upcycle it, and see how many pairs of earrings we can make from one tiny little stretch bracelet. What I like about this bracelet is that it has different shapes of beads, different shapes and colors to work with.
Who knew? Who knew? Look what a few beads can do. One stretch bracelet, old but true.
First things first, let's cut it apart. You can see the stretch elastic is fraying. Oh my gosh, that was very easy to break. That's why I wire my bracelets rather than use stretch elastic. I have no idea how old this bracelet is. I picked it up at a garage sale just a week ago. All right, let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. I've got stretch elastic everywhere. They were beads before, they are beads again. Whoops, lost a couple. Try this again. They were beads before, they are beads again. What do we have here? It looks like mother of pearl. They do have some rough edges here from the hole being drilled. So we have 3 of these, 3 round beads. Those are probably 8 millimeter. We have some rondelles, 3 of those. Those are 8 millimeter. These are 6 millimeter. Oops, still have some more of that elastic there. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 6 millimeter rondelles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 millimeter gold beads. Some tiny little seed beads. Maybe this wasn't a good idea to take them out of the bowl. I just wanted to count everything. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 little, you could say seed beads, although they're metal. Oh, nope, 11. And I may have lost one when I took it apart. And 2 little 4 millimeter daisy spacers. That's what we have to work with. I have some ear wires in gold tone, and I have some 2-inch head pins. I also have my round nose pliers, and I think that's pretty much all we'll need. Look in your bead stash or your thrifted jewelry and see if you can find some similar shaped beads. They don't have to be the same as mine. Just look at the shapes of the beads and see if you have something similar. Let's start with 2 head pins. Do I have a silver one in here? I think I do. Start with your head pins. Again, these are 2-inch head pins. And let's see about putting a small round, these things are going everywhere, small round gold bead at the bottom. And then let's go ahead and try I was hoping these would fit on the head pin. I didn't know if they would or not. Of course, I'm going to have an odd one out on several of these. So I'm going to set that aside. But this is what we have so far. And I'm going to go for I think the smallest rondelle. Although I could perhaps use these little daisy spacers. And of course I can add more beads if I want. But I'm trying to work with just what I have here. Just for fun, just to see what all I can make. That's what we have. Then I'm going to add a little gold bead on top since I have so many of these. Little gold spacer bead, metal spacer bead. So we've got shell, we've got glass, we've got metal. I don't know about you, but I'm happy with these. These could end up being 5-minute or less earrings. My flush cutters are built into my round nose pliers, so I'm trimming this down to about 3/8 of an inch. And then my wire is flush, and I get a good grip and make a loop, and I roll it backwards, and then I face it towards myself, and then close it up. That's how I learned to make mine decades ago. You might have a different way, but there's my loop. Same thing here. Push the beads down, bend this at a right angle, trim it down to about 3/8 of an inch. Wire is flush. Make a loop, then I face it towards myself and close my loop. And you can straighten it up if you need to. Pair of ear wires. Oh, we do need one other tool, and I like to use my chain nose pliers because they're tapered. We could open up the loop on the ear wire or the earring. I'm going to open it up on the ear wire, open it up sideways and close it up. Let's do the second one. Let's take a look at these. They look really pretty. Here we go. Made in minutes. Earrings made in minutes. Upcycled earrings made in minutes. Let's set these aside and see what else we can make. 2 more head pins. I'm using gold. You can use whatever color you'd like. Now, on these round beads, I noticed these round beads, one of them looks slightly different than the others, so I'm going to go with the 2 that match the most in color. This one is a little more cream color. These have a little more white So I'm going to go with those two. Do I need to put a bead at the bottom? Don't need to, so I'm not going to in this case. I don't have any more daisy spacers, although I do have some in my stash. But let's put a little 6mm rondelle and then the round gold bead and see what we've got. I tell you what, I really do want some daisy spacers for these, so I'm going to get some. When you're upcycling, never hesitate to get into your own stash and use what you need to use. So I'm going to use 4 of these. These are probably 4mm daisy spacers. I just think these are rather plain, and I want to add a little bit of metal, a little bit of gold tone metal for a little bit of bling. Let's try one with the gold at the top. It's putting the daisy spacers in between. I'm going to try one with the gold at the top, and I'm going to try one with the gold in the middle so we can see what we like best. This is with the gold at the top. This is with the gold in the middle. I do like the round and round, and then the rondelle. That's what I'm going to go with. But I'm going to add one of these gold beads at the very top. That's what I'm going to make. So let's just reverse these. We're just stacking beads today. The easiest earrings you can make, stacking beads. But I like it. Stacked or not, they're pretty. It's got a couple of ear wires. Make sure they match. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're imperfect. So I try to find 2 that match. Push the beads down. Bend it at a right angle. Use your flush cutters or the cutters in your round nose pliers. And I'll put a QR code up in the corner here for my Amazon affiliate store. If you don't have any round nose pliers, that include the flush cutters. I really like these. I've been using these for decades. Maybe not the same pair, but I've been using this style for decades.
Look what a few beads can do. One stretch bracelet, old but true, turned into treasures shiny and new. Who knew we could take one beaded stretch bracelet and upcycle it into 3 pairs of earrings?
Using my chain nose pliers, opening up the loop sideways. Let's take a look at these. Pair number 2. I'm going to straighten this loop up a little bit though. I think it's a little too far forward. So I'm going to put my round nose pliers in here and pull it back just a little and then close it up. There you go, pair number 2. What do you think? Now we have 2 pairs of earrings from one bracelet. Set those aside and see if we can make something else. What do we have left? This is what we have left. 2 head pins. Largest rondelle, 8mm on the bottom, but I have to make sure that the head pin doesn't go through. It looks pretty good. And then let's do the gold bead. You know what? I'm going to try something here. Let's put a little gold spacer and let's do the smaller rondelle and then a spacer. I'm going to run out of spacers, but I have probably something like it. This is what I have. They're very dainty. I think I want them a little longer. I'm going to put a gold bead in between and then those little gold spacer beads. And then the rondelle. We are down to just one of these, but I think those look cool. So I'm going to go with it, and I'm getting close to not having any beads left, but I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to put a round bead at the top like I typically do. I have it in between here. So we need a couple of ear wires, pushing the beads down, bending at a right angle, same thing that we've been doing.
A little bit of time, a bit of creativity in mind. You can do this too. Upcycle an old beaded bracelet into something new. Who knew? It's fun to do. Mix and match, let your colors shine. Every little bead finds a new design. Don't throw yesterday away. Give those beads another chance today.
Couple of ear wires that match. Doesn't matter if you bought them in the same batch or not. Still check them. Take a look at these. Pair number 3, running out of beads. Here's pair number 3. Pair number 1, 2, and now 3. Can we make anything else with what we have left? I don't know. We got 3 pairs of earrings though out of 1 bracelet so far, but this is all I have left. I looked around my table, well, this one too, but I didn't really like it that much. I don't have 2 of those. This is all I have left. This is it. Can we make another pair of earrings? What can we do? We have 2 of those and 2 of those. Decisions here. Oh, I forgot. We have one of these too. What can we make? I wish I had another one of those little beads. I don't, but I could substitute 2 of my little gold round beads. Let's do something here. I'm going to take the head off of this head pin. That's all I have is a 2-inch head pin. And I am going to make a loop like I would for my earrings. So there's a loop, and I'm going to pull it back and make it look like an eye pin. And I'm going to add my little gold bead and the smallest rondelle, and then a gold bead, and then this pearl bead. It does have rough edges, but I'm hoping I can cover up those edges with the gold. And you know what? This isn't long enough to do what I want to do, so I'll be right back. I have some 20 gauge gold wire. Not going to need very much, but I need more than the length of my head pin. So I need more than that. So I'm just going to cut off of here about maybe 3.5 inches. Going a little different direction now in the video. This isn't very straight, so I'm going to try to straighten it a little bit. I know, I said I was making just earrings, but stay with me here. Let's make a loop at the end, or an eye pin. There's a loop. Put the round nose pliers back in and push that down. Close that up so we have an eye pin. Now let's try this again since my head pins are too short. Let's try a small round gold bead, or whatever color of choice, whatever you have to work with. Let's add a small rondelle. Let's add the gold bead because I need something large enough to cover the raw edges from where this shell was drilled. Rough edges, I should say. Can I get this wire through here? That's a good question. Well, I didn't foresee that. Okay. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pliers and help push that through. Got it through. And then add the gold bead and the rondelle. Just going backwards now. I'm not going to be able to use all the beads, but I'm using most of the beads. This is what we have. Still can see the rough edges just a little bit on the pearl depending on what side it's facing. This side it's okay. Let's go ahead and make another loop at the other end. I'm going to go ahead and bend this at a right angle and trim this down to a little more than my 3/8 of an inch. I think I'm going to make a slightly larger loop than I do sometimes, just slightly larger. Make a loop, close the loop. Well, I got to pull it back a little bit and then close it up. And it's kind of cattywampus right now, so I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and try to straighten this like so. So what have we made here? We've made a little bead bar, tiny little bead bar. I'm still not convinced these are going the same direction here, so I have one more thing I'm going to introduce to this. I'm back. I went on a hunt for some chain. I have this chain that's kind of a curved chain. That's probably the longest piece I have to make this work. And then I have this chain with a lobster clasp that I can upcycle. So I'm going a little different direction right now. I'm making a piece of jewelry that will coordinate with the earrings. any of the earrings for that matter. And we are going to take a small jump ring and put it on one loop at the end of our bead bar and attach some chain. Since I don't have enough to make a pair of earrings, I had to get creative here. And what we're going to make here is a little bead bar. What we have to decide is how much do we need. Let's think about this. Let's think about it, but not think too hard. How's that? I don't want to think too hard this morning as I'm making this. Okay, so if I want to have a 7-inch bracelet, 3.5 would be the center. We can always add an extension chain, and we have the clasp to add. So I'm going to make this about 6 3/4. That's my center of a 7-inch bracelet. I'm going to come back to about 6 3/4. It will make sense in a minute here. Curb chain is always challenging because it curbs. And I'm going to close that up. And then I'm going to measure out the same length of chain that I have here, the same amount of links. So I'm going to take it apart here. Like I said, we can add an extension chain if we want. Curb chain is hard to get a hold of. That's what it is. It's hard to hold on to because curb, think curb, think curve. Set that aside. Let's take another small jump ring and attach the chain to the other side. Close that jump ring up. This is what we have. So I have to add the clasp. I think I could have allowed another link or two, but I'm going to keep going with this and then see, because I probably will sell this set. So I'll probably just add an extension chain. So here's attaching the lobster clasp to one end and attaching a jump ring to the other, which, you know, we could attach a larger jump ring as well. But let's just see. Let's see how this fits. How's that? If I can even get it fastened. It's a little different when you've got a bead bar because it's stiff. Okay, got it on. So we have a little bead bar bracelet, a dainty little bead bar bracelet to go with the earrings. Got a little bit of room in here, and I could add an extension chain, which I could use this extension chain that's finer, or I could just add more of the same chain. And that's what I think I'll do, is add more of the same chain. But I do think I want a little larger jump ring here. So I'll take care of that first. I'm sure I probably have a slightly larger jump ring around here somewhere, like right here. Just slightly larger. Makes it easier to hook the lobster clasp into it. And I really should have 2 flat nose pliers right now. Let's add at least 1 inch or 1.5 inches of extension chain. About 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches of extension chain. So I'm just going to put this through the ring. Give that a little pinch. What else can we do? We only have a couple beads left, but I could take this one here, this little one right here. It's very hard to bend a head pin when it's this short, so I'm just going to cut it, and I'm just going to make a small loop here at the end. Pull it back. Maybe I shouldn't have cut it so small. I'm just trying to make a little loop, and I think I should have made my little loop a little bigger. That's what I think, because I think it might be hard to do what I want to do, which is to fit this. Yeah, I should have made that larger, but I'm going to see if I can fit this into the end of the extension chain. Can I? Use a small jump ring if I had to. Should have made it loop a little bit bigger. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, they say. I just have to get it closed. Okay, I think I've got it. And what does that mean? It means that we just upcycled one bracelet, mind you, into...
Upcycle it into 3 pairs of earrings. Make a bead bar bracelet too. A little bit of time, a bit of creativity in mind. You can do this too. Upcycle an old beaded bracelet into something new. Who knew? It's fun to do. Mix and match, let your color shine.
And what do I have left? Only 2 beads. What do you think? Do you think we did okay in this video? I'm going to be listing this lot, the bead bar bracelet, and the 3 pairs of earrings that go with it, not the 2 beads, but I'll be listing this set AvanteJewelry.com, our new store, AvanteJewelry.com. I'll also put a QR code at the end of the video, and I hope you have fun trying this idea. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Vicki, and I'll see you in the next video.
Imagination shining through, give an old bracelet a fresh debut, create, upcycle something new.